All right, everybody, I want to get down to business here. I'm ready for the Blue Jackets to make me shed even more tears. Plenty of tears have already been shed. We're going to keep going. God damn it. It is March 1st of 2032. We are the youth of the nation. We are less than a week away from the trade deadline, which is on March 6th. And again, right now, we are on the cusp of a playoff spot. And as a result, we made some deals, right? We acquired the entirety of a third line. We moved on from Gunderson, who was doing well, but wasn't going to be so insanely good. We are trying to lock down who the top players on this team actually are. We are trying. That's right. We wanted to go Lindstrom, Cross, and what? No, we didn't. There we go. There we go. So I don't know. Are there going to be some trades I regret? Yeah, probably. That's the fun of it. That's the fun of it. I've explained what we're doing here. a few times. But Christian Gunderson went to Vancouver. Watch Gunderson turn into Jordan DeMay. I mean, the thing about Jordan DeMay was I was right. He was not going to turn into the top-notch sniper that we were looking for at the time. Or playmaker, I should say. He was a sniper, but he puts up more points as a playmaker. He refused to become a playmaker, so, you know, I feel like I was still justified, even though, yeah, he's doing very well where he is. Let's see. Will Smith is on the block. Ooh, Gavin McKenna on the block for St. Louis. He wasn't on the block before when we joked about getting him. Interesting. Sam Reinhart's 36, so he won't help too much at this point. Will Smith is 26 as a high-end playmaker. Let me take a look at... let's see what's up with Will Smith. $12 million this year. I mean, definitely more of a playmaker. Hasn't shown the signs of being an elite playmaker. But you put him next to Caden Lindstrom and Wah, and good things could happen. It'd be a risk as to whether or not he'd sign with us, though. Gavin McKenna's the interesting one because he is already signed. It's expensive as all hell. That's not what I wanted to look at, game. Very similar stat line to Smith. Could play him on the wing with Lindstrom at center. I mean, in theory, he could be the guy, right? In theory. God, Kucherov's 38 at this point. This Gavin McKenna trade, I don't think we have the value to pull it off, but man, it would be one hell of a deal. So we acquired Kwiatkowski. I swear to God, he went down like 3 overall points after we picked him up. We have Nashville and St. Louis's first-round pick. St. Louis is atrocious. They'd love to get their own first-rounder back. And you could draft anybody with St. Louis's first-rounder. You could even try to get someone like Gavin McKenna, whose morale is down, clearly. If he's a first-liner at 86, doesn't equate to that. I think we could pull this trade off. I think we can. I mean, we have the picks to do it. I don't hate it. Am I able to look at the draft? Draft board. Shit. Projected picks. Right now, I mean, Boudreaux. Shit. I don't think I can look at the draft board the way that I want to. In terms of seeing, like, if there's a franchise level player there. I mean, Boudreaux. Okay, that's a high 6 projected top 5. Sven Weinhandel is a medium elite. I mean, there might be a franchise player there, but it's tough to say. It's tough to say. I think we look for this Gavin McKenna trade. I think we do. Do we have any other... Okay, we do have Cirelli that we can add to this too, because we'll keep Spencer Knight for the year. Almost have more than 45 skaters. So I do have to give up at least one player that's under contract here. Can't be Lees. Kwiatkowski. Marjamaki. Yeah, Marjamaki's not that bad. Can it be Kwiatkowski? Although I don't really want to give him up. What about like DeMaio? In terms of the firsts, St. Louis's own first, and then how close are we? Probably not close enough. What if we add Vancouver's first and try to keep Nashville's? Actually, it would make more sense than to move Nashville's if we're going to weaken St. Louis even more. What about Florida's second? So 2 firsts, a second, a goaltender, and a forward prospect? It's close, but it's not close enough. I think we got to get rid of DeMaio. We need to add a dude that actually has some value that's under contract. It can't be Lees. It's probably Marjamaki then. He's worse than Kwiatkowski. Will this go through? No. Okay. Take out the Florida second. 3 first-round picks is expensive, but are we guaranteed to get a player this good with any of those picks? And Gavin McKenna is still only 24 years old. Ooh, I accidentally saved a screenshot. Love to see it. Schoenmakers I'd prefer to keep still. Will this go through? 3 first, Marjamaki and Cirelli? Even then, the value's too far off, really. Really? Shout out to Mobsky for the 44 months. Mobsky, how the hell are you?
That with the Patriots jacket, and of course he's been asked to leave the ball game for ruining a good piece of pizza.
What if we give up Marjamaki as the one player? We'll be able to flip that goalie later. The Nashville first, the Seattle first, the Vancouver first. And what about a 3rd round pick from Anaheim? 3 first, Marjamaki, and a 3rd. 3 first, Marjamaki, and a 2nd. God, that's expensive. I'd love to get Gavin McKenna. I think he could be really good for us. He has just been stuck on a miserable team. But man, this is going to be pricey. Very, very pricey. We're talking 2 likely top 5 picks. I think we got to do it. Nashville's first, 2 seconds. That's obviously not going to go through. The Nashville first, the St. Louis first. Very pricey pond hockey there. Let's see if it'll go through. Who's he replacing on the team? Nobody necessarily. Wow, is that not going to go through on its own? Whew. Jesus. What about a 3rd? So 2 top 5 picks that are both likely medium elites, because we don't know if there's a franchise player out there. Marjamaki and a 3rd. This is investing a lot. Oh my God, a lot. To hope that Gavin McKenna can be the missing piece on that top line. But you can't get a player like this every day in the way franchise mode works right now. 2 first, 2 seconds, and Marjamaki. Sweeten it just a touch. The Vancouver first and a Colorado second. This is a home run shot here. If he develops, he's going to be awesome. If he doesn't, we're going to regret this for a long time. Gavin McKenna, welcome to Columbus. It's worth the shot. It's still cheaper than what an offer sheet would have been, exactly. That means our top line is McKenna, Lindstrom, and Waugh. 3 franchise caliber players. Worth it. On paper, worth it. And McKenna just jumped back up from an 88 to a 92. Gavin, are you the player that we've been hoping for? That is the question. That is the question. Again, we gave up the St. Louis and Nashville first, both of which were trending at being top 5 picks. We still have Seattle's first, which could be decent. That was a big trade. That was a big time trade. Actually, if I go back, it's during the draft that it'll save. And again, we have a winning record right now too. We're on pace to make the playoffs. If we go to find a trade. Oops. Gonna be a franchise player now? Potentially, yeah. Can I move Cirelli for anything right now? Second and a third. No one's gonna be willing to give up a first for this guy. Second and a third isn't too bad. I'd rather move him at the draft. Oops. I feel better about this than 4 firsts for Bouchard. Yeah. In comparison, that is not even my riskiest decision that we've made here. Not even close. I think we're good for the rest of the season based off of the moves that we've made. We don't have too much else to do. That McKenna blockbuster was the deal. Let's take a look at the new team. People aren't happy about Marjamaki getting traded, but it's a small price to pay. 2 goalies. We got Nemec and Werenski, Kaupin and Goodrow, who's currently hurt. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's see. So if we go best lines, it's going to be, oh, baby. That is a hell of a top line. That is for sure. That is one hell of a top line. And then we know that Cross and Shields work really well together. We acquired Barron, Waugh, and Becker. Kaspar and Engren as a scratch. They were working really well together with Veets. And then Jankowski's there. Hell of a top line to be eliminated in round 1, probably. We know that 4th line was doing well before. Of course, Poirier was terrible when we previously had him on the roster. Galyanov was atrocious. But if we have Jorgensen as a playmaker, Schoenmakers as a 2-way, do we have a power forward or a sniper in the system? Poirier might get another chance. I'm going to send down those 3. Poirier is probably getting another opportunity here. Yeah. All right, nobody got claimed on waivers. Good. And then we'll have probably Jankowski as a healthy scratch. Or maybe even have him in the lineup. So Barron, Waugh, and Becker. Jorgensen. I guess I did need another playmaker, too. Who else can get called up here? Unless we want Jorgensen to be that 3rd line playmaker, which could work. That means we'd have playmaker, power forward. Okay. I think the guys that we have right now might work. I'm going to do something a little bit risky. But that's what we've done throughout this entire run, is be a little bit risky. Say hello to 2nd line left wing Mark Jankowski, baby. And we'll go Jorgensen, Schoenmakers, Poirier. Why not give Mark Jankowski an opportunity, you know? Oh, that's why. Never mind. Never mind. Holy hell. That's why. He has been atrocious. Whew. Okay. Well, we could go with William Carrier in that spot. We could go with Alex Iafallo in that spot. He's not quite what he used to be. Oh, God, he can't skate anymore. Can Athanasiou still skate? Not really. Some of those games are on defense. That is true. Okay, we are going to have a real weak point at second line left wing. We're going to have a real weakness there. Because Morgan Barron's a power forward, too. Fuck it. Why not, Mark? Let's see what you can do, buddy. Let's see what you can do. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. We'll see what they can do. We'll see what they can do. Let's go best lines down in the AHL again. Yeah, we definitely have a weakness in the lineup currently. But it might be okay. Tanner Jeannot got dealt. We are getting into the point, though, where a lot of the big names are generated guys. Chekhov to New Jersey. Edvinson and Burakovsky to Carolina. Shenko and Woolley, of course, the Gavin McKenna deal for us. Mason Lohrei was in a deal for the Beasted. Olin Zellweger's off to Tampa. Shane Pinto is a Ranger. Tyson Forster's on Toronto. Yeah, I mean, obviously these rosters have changed a ton, given how far into this franchise mode we are. Ryan Lindgren's off to Buffalo. And the trade that we made a few days before the actual deadline itself. So we're at 50 contracts here, too. Even if there was a left wing I wanted to sign, I couldn't. All right. Well, that does mean we're basically locked into what we have here. Out the system of it now. All right. Well, we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. But the top line is unbelievable on paper. But will they mesh well? Is the question. And will we find ourselves in a playoff spot once again? It has been a season away. I'd love to see us back on top of the mountain here. But Lindstrom, McKenna, Waugh. And we want Lindstrom as the center of that line. Gets the +5, even if it won't do much for the sim. At least we have it. Nemec out with a knee injury. Right. We'll call up Darren Radish, I guess. Should be a fun power play unit. If they mesh, they might not. That is the issue. You can get good players together, but sometimes they just do not play well. Oh, man. So keep that -1 there with Radish. Who's Columbus's rival? Themselves. Kimmo Kauppinen is hurt. Oh, boy. All right. That is now 3 starting defensemen injured. That is not ideal. The Grinders still as useless as they were in 24. Define useless. Apart from themselves again. Themselves in blue. All right. Well, Clefbaum, come on up, buddy. Come on up. Eddie, what's going on, man? How are you? All right. Well, despite some of the injuries, you know, we're winning some games here and there. Harvey Shields has fractured his ankle. Jesus Christ. So many injuries. Jays, I've seen the first 2 episodes. I've seen the first 2. Oh, boy, the amount of injuries. Hunter McCown, welcome back to the NHL lineup, buddy. We need you. We need you. Damn. Whole lot of injury trouble post-deadline. Not great. Not great. Nemec is healthy, at least. At this point with the injuries, is Rick Nash busy? I got a spot for him on the second line if he's up for it. I'd love to see Rick Nash back in the lineup. You get Nemec back in there. And we keep on. Tristan Jarry has been hurt down in the AHL. You hate to see it. Yeah, hate to see it. Oh, by the way, was there a franchise player in the draft? No. So we probably made the right call of moving for Gavin McKenna. Probably. Like Jack Beckett, Nathaniel Moore, like these guys are fine. Beckett does have Spinorama and Snappy, but probably made the right call. Famous last words. Caleb Waugh is injured with upper body injury. Sweet mother of God. Dude, this team is just falling apart. Jesus. Seriously, the amount of injuries. Oh my God. Send down Darren Radish. Let's call up Crooks. Captain Crooks. Why not? Oof. Not the Jeremy or Justin Poirier, as it were. He's going to get a hell of an opportunity. Christ. Duplicated role on the power play. Let's go best lines. Get Poirier up there. I want to reunite the fourth line the way that it was, since these guys came from the same team. That works. Best lines in the AHL. We're just fighting for survival here. Heading towards the end of the season. Got a couple weeks to go. In March. Yeah, Jay's compared it pretty well, yeah. Losing a lot of games now. Fucking way too many games. Fluginch is healthy down in the AHL. 1 game left this month. We are currently in a wild card spot, but again, we are dealing with so many injuries. Standings-wise, we are 3 points up on Montreal for Wild Card 2 with a game in hand. So, we're in an okay spot, but my goodness, the injuries. San Jose to kick off April. And we got some players back from injury. Waugh is fully healthy. Gaudreau is fully healthy. Thank God. Thank God. All right, so that means we can send down a right defenseman. Or even a left defenseman. That can be Clefbaum going down. And then right wing side, we'll send down Crooks. No one's going to get claimed on waivers. Right. So if we go best lines again, McKenna, Lindstrom, Waugh. Honestly, Jorgensen, Cross, Poirier. I'm not even going to bother with the power play lines right now because we're going to have to fix them anyway before the playoffs. We know that they're not going to be ideal. This we know. It's a guarantee that the Lions aren't optimal. We did beat the Sharks 1-0. Edmonton. Oilers under 500. We beat them 4-1. We are closing in on a playoff spot. 3 points up on Montreal for wild card 2. Best Lions down in the AHL. That's fine. We got Boston, Washington, Buffalo coming up. 29 wins for the Bruins this year. It should be a winnable game. Which means we lost, but we lost in a shootout. Kimmo Kauppinen is healthy, thankfully. Thankfully. So that'll be Morelli that sits. Get Kimmo back into the lineup. All right, best Lions down in the AHL. Washington is a win. We are 4 points up on the Habs with a game in hand. And we play Montreal coming up. We lose to Buffalo. I mean, this is pretty much it. We are 4 points up on the Habs. If we win this game, it's pretty much guaranteed we're going to the playoffs. Seven to 6 in a shootout. They did get a point out of it, but that should be enough. And it is the Columbus Blue Jackets going back to the playoffs. How do you like that? A lot of controversial moves. And 2 blowout losses to end the season. We don't have to talk about that yet. A lot of controversial moves. But we are back in the playoffs. All right, every team has played 82 games, so with a 40-win season, we are heading back. It'll be Rangers and Hurricanes. The Devils will play Detroit. We'll be taking on the Buffalo Sabres, and Ottawa plays Toronto. Twitter would be so fun. In the Central Division, Colorado will play Minnesota. Utah plays Dallas. Chicago will play Vancouver. And Calgary plays Los Angeles. Worst team in the league did end up being St. Louis. Of course, we gave them their own first-round pick back. Nashville was 4th from the bottom. We do still have Seattle's pick, though. So, we didn't do too badly. We turned the St. Louis first and the Nashville first into Gavin McKenna. I don't regret it. At least not yet. In terms of our leading scorers, Caden Lindstrom, 85 points in 82 games. Not bad at all for the captain. Not bad at all. His highest scoring season yet. Both in terms of goals and assists. Caleb Waugh, in his second season, 38 goals, 76 points. It definitely feels like he has the potential to put up a 50, 60 goal season like we saw Brady Tkachuk do once we traded Brady for the rights to draft this guy. He does not like Drew Doughty and Chris Tanev. Good. Gavin, how did you do after we acquired you? So far, so good, chat. So far, so good. He went from 36 points in 62 games in St. Louis to 22 points in 20 games alongside Lindstrom and Waugh. I think we have a winning combination on that top line finally. Harvey Shields, 53 points, limited to 66 games. He is an excellent second-line playmaker. Cross is turning into a real scoring threat on the second line next to Shields. Andre Becker, again, we acquired from Carolina. He was in a greatly reduced role here, but that's okay. Poirier can put up points, but defensively, good lord. 34 points for Schoenmakers. That's not too bad. Get Waugh up there. Jorgensen, not quite ready for prime time in his rookie year. And then, yeah, like McCown, Jankowski, it wasn't overly pretty. Defensively, 66 points for Werenski. I believe that's his best season since we took over. It is. It is. He's gotten much better in terms of point production since we traded Bouchard. 47 points in 70 games for Nemec. 32 points for Goodrow, but a -20. He and Kaupinen just did not play well together. Xavier Villeneuve did pretty well. I mean, 26 points for a primarily third-line guy or third-pairing guy. Goaltending, ugh. That's still looking like it's going to be a problem. It's not, I mean, again, Spencer Knight was a one-year signing just to be a stopgap. A little bit worried. Of course, we already know, Jesus Christ, we reunited Brady Tkachuk and Tim Stützle, both of whom at times in this franchise have been on the Blue Jackets. We even played them together on the same line once upon a time. They never did this. 136 points apiece with 74 goals for Brady Tkachuk. 30, 45, 62, and 74. Fuck me. He went from shooting 12% to 18 and 21. That hurts. That does hurt. McKinnon's still great. He had 70. Matthews had 71. Zach Benson was up there for Buffalo. Okay. Connor McDavid, now 35 years old, has almost 2,000 career points. Just insane. God, that was a long time ago we did that high-scoring season, wasn't it? 172 points for him. Gabe Velarde. Okay. Paterka's up there. Like, it is quite obvious. If you get a player or a set of players that the game likes, they just fucking dominate. It is all about finding those right combinations for one reason or another. Matthews, by the way, has 942 goals at age 34. So, in terms of goal scorers, yeah, 3 guys hit 70. Connor hit 66. Bedard and Thompson each had at least 51. Defensively, Makar on 95 points, but Adam Fox did it in 12 less games. When Hughes was up there, Landon DuPont turns into a beast in this game, at least with the A's roster. Frank Clark, Lane Hudson was up there, Werenski. And again, you see Evan Bouchard. Like, dude, we gave him the big money and he stopped giving a shit. We cashed out on him at the right time. No complaints. And then for the goalies, the winningest, Devin Levi, Eustace, the only guy to break 40, Jack Greaves. 39 wins for the Leafs. Your shutout leaders with 5, Caden Primo and Nicholas Coco. And your top save percentages amongst starters, Devin Levi. Anything over a 910 was pretty good. So save percentages were just down this year. The Calder is very likely to go to Curtis Lackey in Vegas. I don't think it'll go to Schoenmaker's, 16 points off, but a +3. It probably won't be him. So I think it'll be Lackey. I think it will be. But hey, we are in the playoffs again. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to see us back in the playoffs, even if it might not go particularly well. And in saying that, we need to take a look at the lines here. And injuries and such. Did O'Rourke do the hitting? Good question. When the hell is Shields coming back? I'm not able to see from here still. Okay. Let's find out. Did O'Rourke do the hitting? Not really, man. 98 hits, 84 blocks. And again, this is a guy with 99 aggression, 97 body checking, 97 shot blocking. Allow me to grab a screenshot of that because my man. What the hell? Shout out to Wildcatter for the 7 months. I do appreciate it. Now I got to wait for that alert to dip off the screen. There we go. So, yeah, that's not ideal for O'Rourke. Clearly. Clearly. It's the most important tip you have for developing players. Pray. Wildcatter, you're fine. It was just the worst possible. Well, not the worst possible timing. I had to wait 2 seconds. You're fine. Yeah, pray, honestly. Pray that these guys are willing to listen to you, to develop into the players you know they can be. Oh, man, we got to figure out what we want to do here. What do we want to do? Because we know Poirier can put up points, but he can't be trusted defensively. McCown hasn't been able to be trustworthy this year. Jankowski isn't trustworthy either. You know what? Let's go back with the scrub line that actually played pretty well. Mr. Besser, what's going on, man? Let's go back to that scrub line that actually played pretty well. I think it might work out for us. Quadruple shift McKenna, Lindstrom, and not the worst idea, to be honest. Who needs a fourth line? Honestly, I don't hate the way the team looks right now. Like, that top 6 is ideally what the top 6 will be for the next couple of seasons. With the exception of course, Harvey, who is currently hurt. So we do have a little bit of a odd man out situation eventually. But I don't hate that top 6. I mean, especially that top line. It's just gross. We need Kaupinen and Goodrow to play well together. We need it. Power play, Lindstrom, McKenna, Waugh, Werenski, Villeneuve, no notes. That works for me. It honestly works for me. Spencer Knight in goal. We need to see how long Shields is out for before we start this playoff series, but I think we'll be all right. Do McKinnon and Matthews seem to sim better than McDavid? Yes. They do. They just outright do, especially Matthews. Matthews fucking destroys worlds in this game mode, and I can tell you the exact reason as to why. Literally, let me go show you the exact reason as to why that happens that way. And it all comes down to a little slider we like to call the shot pass, right? Which is hidden within franchise, but not when you edit things. So you look at Connor McDavid, for example. You look at his attributes. His shot pass bias is at a 6, which you could argue is slightly realistic. I'll give it that. It is slightly realistic. However, if you look at Austin Matthews, for example, you look at old mustache here. God, his face looks so funny in this game. You look at his shot pass, 3 out of 15. Therefore, he shoots the puck more. Therefore, he scores all the goddamn time. Like, even 3 points on that bias can make a huge, huge difference. And to be honest, you could argue Austin's shot pass slider should be even lower towards shoot more than it already is. So that is why I always say that they need to improve the attributes in this game. Maybe someday they'll listen to me. Maybe. Because it does have a big, big effect on franchise mode. A big, big effect. For now, let's focus on our task at hand. The 56-win Buffalo Sabres, who were 3rd in goals for per game. We were 21st. They were 2nd in goals against per game. We were 18th. They had the 12th best power play. We were 22nd. They had the best penalty kill. We were 14th. Our leading scorer had 85 points. Their leading scorer had 115. We are up against it, to say the least. Let's see what they look like here. Let's see. Their top line, Zach Benson, Tage Thompson, and J.J. Peterka. Second line, Anthony Beauvillier, Peyton Krebs, and Dylan Cousins. How the hell did this team win 57 games? Trevor Moore, Noah Ostland, and Martin Pospisil. Fourth line of Anton, don't call him Mark Wahlberg. Quentin Valette. Did we draft you? No. And Raphael Harvey-Pinard. Their defense, Rasmus Dahlin and Owen Power. Dylan Coughlin and Alexander Romanoff. Ryan Lindgren and Leon Bixel. Goaltender, Devin Levi. Danil Tarasov. No injuries, scratches, Braden Tracy, Chaz Lucius, and Florian Jacki. Might have a really good coach that fits the team well, or maybe it is just that the top line is that dominant. Who's to say? But they had a phenomenal regular season. In terms of the ratings comparisons, by the way, because I do typically like looking at that. We are listed at 84, 95, and 88. To their 93, 91, and I think it was 87 in goal. Tall task. But I'm glad Crash Andrews is here to see it. Hello, Crashy. Game number 1. The Blue Jackets back in the playoffs. Probably for a short stint. Let's see how it goes. First period. 1-1. All right. Caleb Waugh has his first ever playoff goal. And then, of course, Tage Thompson scored. Second period. Still 1-1. Okay. We go to the third. Cross has his first playoff goal. Make it 2-1. Long power play with nothing doing. Pospisil ties the game for Buffalo. We have another power play. I'll be making power play changes. Cross has his second goal of the period. Make it 3-2 Jackets. Another power play. Jeez. You better win this game. Empty netter for Caden Lindstrom. Jorgensen makes it 5. And Columbus. Unbelievable. Imagine the Blue Jackets surprising a 55-plus win team in the first round of the playoffs. How unrealistic. How unrealistic. That is a hell of a start to the series to put up 5 goals. That is a fourth liner. Damn it. To put up 5 goals on the going to be Vezina winner. That hurts. Are we going to be fully healthy aside from the fourth liner? Harvey Shields is back. Okay. That's good news, at least. That's a big change to get Harvey Shields back. It has him plugged in on the fourth line right now. We're going to go best lines again because of where it will factor him in. Let's go Kaspar, Engren, Becker. Barron, Wash, Schoenmakers, Jorgensen, Cross, Shields. And then Lindstrom is the center. We know the defense is going to be good. The power play, Lindstrom, McKenna, Waugh, Nemec, Villeneuve. Cross, Shields, Schoenmakers, Werenski, Goudreau. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much fine. But what we want, McKenna, distributor, Waugh, the finisher. I mean, that's good. Outside of like having McKenna be the puck carrier. Are the faceoffs good? Yep. Lindstrom on the draw. What about that second unit? Distributor, Goudreau. Honestly, finisher, fucking Cross, dude. We'll have the puck be on Werenski. Ooh, let's have it be on Shields stick. And then Shields takes face-off, which is fine. He's technically not the center, but his face-off rating isn't that bad. I do think both power play units are pretty strong on paper. Game number 2. Void, you already did. You already did. Early power play for Buffalo. First period. And Gavin McKenna. Gavin McKenna has his first playoff goal as a Jacket. Second period. Goal apiece. Peyton Krebs tied it. Harvey Shields back in the lineup. 2-1 Blue Jackets. As we go to the third. Power play goal, Gavin McKenna. Let's go. Harvey Shields make it 4-1, boys. Don't you be tricking me here. Don't you be doing it. Don't you get my hopes up here. We do have a decent little team. We do. The Columbus Blue Jackets are up 2-0 on the 57-win Buffalo Sabres. Shields is back with a vengeance. McKenna might be the best trade I've ever made. Lofty, heights to hit. But at the same time, lofty heights doesn't really make sense now, does it? Well, I guess it does, because lofty means like... Anyway, Gavin McKenna's awesome. We are up 2-1 in this series as we head home. Of course, we know we could easily get hit with the home team losing trend. And then all of a sudden, things won't be looking as good. Game number 3. First period. 1-1. Cross on the power play and Pospisil to tie it up. What did we trade for McKenna? 2 firsts, 3 firsts, something like that. It was pricey, but worth it. Second period. All right, Buffalo was up 3-2. Wahlberg on the power play. Shields on the power play. Dylan Cousins as the difference maker right now. Sabres pushing back. Next goal is probably going to decide this game. It's another power play goal for Buffalo. Noah Ostlund. Benson. Okay, let's look at the PK after this game. Jesus. All right, well, Buffalo is back with a vengeance. Zach Benson again. As Jamie Benn just let Spencer Knight get fucking shelled. Thanks, Jamie. Yikes. Sabres, big guns delivered. Rough game. Rough game, and we learned we have to stay out of the box. We need to. It's a really, really rough performance. Did our AHL team make the playoffs? No, they did not. Okay, so we can focus solely on the NHL then. All right, PK-wise. PK Subban. It's Lindstrom, Kauppanen, showing... I mean, that should be fine. O'Rourke, and Gaudreau. Okay, let's actually make a change here. Lindstrom and Schoenmakers is fine. Instead of Kauppanen and Werenski, let's go Kauppanen and Nemec. Actually, let's just outright go Werenski Nemec. Second line. I mean, Cross is a power forward. Lindstrom's already out there. Honestly, Wah and Becker should be fine. And instead of O'Rourke and Gaudreau, let's have it be Kauppanen. And then the third PK. I mean, Engren isn't ideal, but we don't have too much of a choice. It can be Engren and Kaspar. I mean, it is the third choice power play. And then Villeneuve and O'Rourke. Just to make a couple of changes there after our penalty kill was brutalized last game. Game number 4. We're up 2-1 on Buffalo as the 8th seed. First period. 1-0 Blue Jackets. Schoenmakers gets the opening goal. Second period, 2-0 Blue Jackets. Caleb Wah. It's on a Facebook post. Someone promised Petrie second line D, but played him on the first line, and Petrie got mad. Yeah, they are aware of that being an issue, and will hopefully fix it very soon. Just give the man what he wants, though. Also, I try to avoid those promises for that reason. We go to the third, up by 2, looking to take a 3-1 series lead. Can we do it? Power play Buffalo successfully killed this time. 7 minutes left. Daniel Gaudreau on the power play. The Columbus Blue Jackets, 1 win away from upsetting the 1-seeded Sabres. A 3-0 shutout victory for Spencer Knight. Whew. Very nice, very nice. Very, very nice. All right. We did, Cynical. We did. We do lose Xavier Villeneuve to injury for about 2.5 weeks. That's a bit of a rough loss. Not sure if we discussed this though. What are your thoughts on fighting in hockey? Jesus, that is its whole entire conversation. That is an entire conversation on its own, Niles. God, do we play Luka? Give me 1 second here. Do we leave Morelli in? I guess we do, because otherwise it's Radish. All right, well, Luka, you're probably going to end up a power play time because of it, but at least you're surrounded by great players. My thoughts on fighting are this. Will I be sad if they say no more fighting? No. Do I think if they say no more fighting, that all of a sudden, oh, well, players are just going to take cheap shots all the time? They fucking take cheap shots anyway. But also, do I like fighting? Yes. My big old monkey brain loves it when 2 dudes just punch each other in the fucking face. I like MMA. I like boxing. I like hockey fights. Is it contrarian and maybe even a little bit hypocritical to say I'd be all right with it leaving, but I also like it? Sure. But who says I can't be hypocritical? Right? Right. That's probably the best way I can think to say it. Game number 5 in Buffalo. Let's go. Can we end this series? First period. 1-1. Kaspar, the 4th line grinder, and Valette, 3rd or 4th liner for the Sabres. Cynical, I didn't see it in full. I heard it happen, but I didn't see it. Second period. It's Wah. Who needs 70-some-odd goals from Brady Tkachuk when you have Wah? All right. I think it's more that you like it, but understand why it would be taken out. Yeah. Yeah. Jorgensen makes it 3-1. Power play Blue Jackets. It's Cross. Woo. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. The Columbus Blue Jackets have knocked off the 1-seeded Sabres in 5 games. A big-time upset for the Blue Jackets. Spencer Knight showed up. We brought him on for, 15 mil this year? But this series was about the emergence of Cross as a legitimate 2C on this team. A phenomenal start to the playoffs in Columbus. Gavin McKenna, point per game. -1, but point per game. Lindstrom, over a point per game, -2, but at least putting up the offense to offset it. Caleb Waugh, 6 points in 5 games. Jorgensen, you're supposed to be a playmaker, but he had 2 goals. Caleb Cross is unbelievable. Harvey Shields is also scoring goals when you're supposed to be a playmaker. Very typical of me to say that we might need lineup changes after winning. I am going to leave it, but I'm a little bit concerned that my playmakers are scoring goals. And then honestly, Barron Was fine. We don't need points from you, buddy. Just don't get scored on. Same for Nick Waugh. Perfectly fine. Schoenmakers wasn't bad. Did have 8 PIMs. Kaspar was solid. Honestly, with the bottom 6, they're playing perfectly. We do not need you to score. If our success in the playoffs is dependent on our bottom 6 scoring, we're fucked. We are the Edmonton Oilers. It needs to be the top line that carries. Werenski, great series. Very, very good. Nemec, great series. Kimmo Kauppinen, not bad. Daniel Goodrow had a phenomenal series. Ryan O'Rourke was pretty solid, too. And Luca Morelli was fine, filling in due to injury. And then Spencer Knight, a .931 with a shutout. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Things could be looking all right. If not for this year, certainly for the future, we could be looking all right here.